Hello and welcome to the next episode of my channel where I'll be taking up a lesson from class 12 and the name of the lesson is Going Places. Now this lesson is about a teenager who always dreams, and normally we see teenagers, they always dream, they always aspire to reach the sky, and they feel that they can do everything which others consider to be impossible, and they always look up to someone as their role model. So, this story is about a teenage girl, Sophie, who is a dreamer, and she wishes to have the first boutique in the city. Now, she has no money or means as she belongs to a lower middle class family. Her friend Jancy is a practical girl. Unlike Sophie, her friend Jancy is a practical girl, and she is aware of the realities of life. Jancy often advises her not to indulge in fantasy, not to dream the impossible. And she knows that, opening a boutique requires a lot of money. However, Sophie thought that she would become a manager to have the money. She even dreamt of becoming an actor or a fashion designer. Jancy knows that they have no other option but to work in the biscuit factory. But Sophie feels that she will become a manager and she will have a lot of money, and then she can have a boutique of her own. Sophie lives in a small house with her parents and brothers. She has two brothers, Geoff, the elder one, and Derek, the younger one. Though she often voices her feelings and desires, her parents do not give much importance to it because they feel that she should be more mature and she should realize the harsh realities of life. Sophie has a fascination for her elder brother Geoff, who in her opinion is tall, strong, handsome, but reserved. Geoff is a mechanic. She envies his silence. Sophie is jealous of her brother's silence and often wonders about his thoughts and areas of his life that is not known to her. So she keeps thinking what her brother is thinking and not telling her. She wants her brother to introduce her to those places and people about which he dreams or he unknowingly goes and meets. Moreover, Geoff thinks she's too young. Sophie was impatient. She imagines Geoff riding a bike wearing black leathers and she sitting behind him in a yellow dress with a cape. And the whole world is applauding them. She keeps dreaming this. Sophie tells Geoff of her meeting with Danny Casey in the arcade. So that day, Sophie tells Geoff about how she had met a famous Irish star in the arcade. Geoff obviously does not believe her, but Sophie gives the description with such conviction, describing Danny's physical appearance, and kind of Geoff sort of believes her but not completely, and so he tells the same to their father, who just waves off the story and discusses Danny's skill as a player. So father does not believe even a bit of the story, and he starts discussing about this player whose name is Danny. Her father warns Sophie that cooking up such stories may land her up in some trouble. So instead of believing, he's angry at her. Why do you make up such stories? If you keep on making such stories, you will get into trouble one day. But Sophie does not give up. She describes it to be a chance encounter at the Royces. And she asked Danny for an autograph, and neither of them had a pen or paper. They discussed clothes, and Danny promised her to meet the next week and give his autograph. Okay, but so even though her father is saying don't make up stories, Jancy is adamant that she has met and Danny, and how she wanted an autograph, but Danny or she did neither Danny nor she had a pen. So Danny promised to give her an autograph the next week. Geoff says that it was the most unlikely things to happen. Her brother is not ready to believe. So the next time, the family goes to watch the football match. Sophie, her father and Derek sit near the goal, and Geoff and his friends sit higher to watch the match. And in this match, Danny exhibits his great genius. And witnessing the crowd's praise for Danny, Sophie glowed with pride because she kind of feels that now Danny is her friend. Danny has spoken so nicely to her, and even Danny has promised to meet her next time for giving an autograph. Now Jancy comes to know about Sophie's lie. How did she come to know? Because Geoff had told Jancy's elder brother, and Jancy's brother had told Jancy about this. She asked Sophie about it. Sophie is shocked that Jancy knows about her lie. She admits to Jancy that she met the celebrity, but Jancy refuses to believe her. Okay, Sophie did not want Jancy ever to know that she had met Danny. Why? Because Jancy had a habit of spreading the news everywhere, and she didn't want her father to know about it. Sophie is happy that Geoff kept her secret and did not tell about her date with Danny to anyone. Sophie tells Jancy that it was all incidental. Sophie says as there was no pen or paper, she could not get an autograph. So Geoff had told Jancy's brother that Sophie had met Danny, but he did not tell the other part. What was the other part? That Danny had promised that he will meet this girl next week, and Jancy sort of considered it to be a date. So she was happy that her brother had kept the secret. Jancy said she may trust Sophie and then leaves. Sophie waits for Danny Casse at her favorite spot along the canal, as she thought it was a perfect place for a date. She tries hard to maintain a balance between her dream and reality, and keeps on thinking on the prospect of Danny coming or not to meet her. And her own thoughts made her sad because Danny never came. Sophie is frightened. What will she go and tell her family about Danny not coming to meet her, especially Geoff? She is unable to accept the reality. Though she feels sad and miserable, she does not want to give up on her dream. Sophie once again dreams of meeting Danny at Royce and asking for his autograph. She dreams of discussing his popularity with her family. And she fails to come out of her fantasy and is overwhelmed by the memory of the match. And this was the only time when she saw Danny Casse in reality. So what do we understand? There is a girl who is actually dreaming. She has never met Danny. Okay? But everything she's dreaming of meeting him, and the boy promising to meet her next week, because the boy never came. So the girl had met Danny only once, not actually met, she had seen Danny only once, and that was when he was playing the game. Okay, so this story is all about fantasy and imaginations of a teenager and how they look up to somebody in their life, how they admire someone in their life. This is point number 1. Second important point is why did Sophie did not want Jancy to know her secret? Because she was sure that Jancy would spread the news everywhere. And second thing, she was scared that the paparazzi, the media people, would trouble her and her parents. Number 3, she was sure her father would get angry if he knew about the date with Danny. Third important thing is why she admired her brother, and she was happy that her brother had kept her secret and had not informed anyone about her date with Danny. So I hope you have understood the chapter. Please do let me know if there is something which you have not understood. Thank you so much.